Hey, Nor W, what is up? Sweetness, what is up? Hey, y'all. Radiant, Robinique, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the chat. Hey, hey, hey. I'm so sorry. I be running late, but this time it's literally my fault. I was so preoccupied with the thumbnail for this video that I was like, oh, I want to change it. I want to change it. Hey, Kenny Ford. Hey, Jazz Jordan. What is up? Nisi Bay. What's good? Shall be back for. Hey. Hey, Ash Irie, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Zai Ultima, Darren Wetzel, what's good? Hey, Shari, how are you? Wait, why is this showing up on top of my live? Chill. I'm having a little technical difficulties right now. I don't know. Oh, that's the live chat on the video. Okay. Hey. All right. How are y'all feeling about? No, okay. I'm just getting started. I'm late, actually. I was freaking being ridiculous about the thumbnail for this video, so I'm late. You are not late. What did y'all think of tonight's episode? How are you feeling about it? Let me know. I did put up a community post, so some of y'all posted on there. I'm gonna share some of those because I thought that those were so cool. I was going through some of the comments on there. I always look at that right after I watch the episode, because yeah, I don't be wanting to ruin it for myself. But I love going to go check y'all first reactions. It's so funny. Y'all crack me up. So shout out to y'all. Yazara said this was my favorite episode of the season so far. Jamal Bryant says this episode was great. The season has been really good so far. So many dope comments. Philip Frantone says, I love the way Nurse Joy, Spencer, and even Patience were encouraging Olivia to take more responsibility. We're going to talk about that. Shari dropped a comment in there. And I agree with you, Shar. It's too early, I think. It's way too early for Olivia to be doing this. However, one thing I will say that this has done is given us a very clear understanding of the growth that she has undergone. So hey, we're gonna talk about it. But what if you didn't get a chance to post in the community tab? Let me know in the comment section or the chat. I'm sorry. What did you think of the episode? And then also, where y'all checking in from? Let me know that in the comment section. And then if you really love this episode, like let's drop some fire emojis in the chat so that we can know and gauge like how many of y'all really enjoyed the episode. Put like 5 fire emojis if you thought it was the littest. Put like one if you like, all right, it was cool, it was all right. Antonio, hey. Hey, hey, y'all. I did a live earlier on Instagram and I've been recording videos all day. So your good sis is tired, but I was like, this is the feast de resistance. I had to do this live tonight. Like, this is the best part of my day on Mondays, so I love it. All right, Darian's like 5 fire emojis. Okay. Nisi, 5 fire emojis. Shari said, I knew that Spencer and Jordan were going to the same school. Shari, you only giving it 3? You only giving it 3 fire emojis? Okay, we got a lot of fives. Zamar, why? Or Zamir, I'm sorry. Why only one? This is hilarious. I love y'all's reaction. RK says I liked it, although the storyline with Hudson was kind of short. I kind of hope that they jumped him or something. I don't condone violence, by the way. I can't. Yes, come on, finishing that homework early so that you could join the party. It's different when you're not here, so we be needing you up in here, Antonio. You got to rep for the camp, even though we didn't get Cam in this episode. And you gotta, bring that extra energy that like says the opposite of whatever I say. That's just what we do. Oh, you gonna up it to Samir? You gonna up it to two two fire emojis? Is y'all can hear me good and everything? Everything is cool because I'm like I ain't have that many technical difficulties this time. Let me figure out that I didn't figure this out on my own. Radiant, you haven't watched the episode yet? You want the spoilers? Because listen, it's supposed to be all types of spoilers all up in this video. Come on now. Come on. But if you want them, listen. Spoiler alert. If you're watching this, we are about to talk about the episode. Y'all are okay. Y'all are really enjoying this episode. You mostly 5 and 4 fire emojis. I'm gonna probably give it like a 4, maybe like a 3.75, because I think that we got a lot of information, which I thought was cool. We got some forward movement with the storylines. It's solid. Like it's sticking to what season 4 has been given. It just wasn't anything too shocking for me. Like everything that happened, it kind of like, okay, this makes total sense. Okay, cool. I could see where they were going. Everything kind of like you saw it happening before it actually happened, at least for me. So, I can't complain. Yeah, but it wasn't something that just like knocked me off my feet. It was to me, a very lighthearted episode that you could just, sit and enjoy. It didn't necessarily pull at too many heartstrings for me like it tends to do. Like anything with like Spencer's storylines, Olivia's storylines, Layla's storylines, they tend to like pull at my heartstrings and get me really, really emotionally involved. But I was watching this episode and I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. And that's the first time I felt like that in a pretty long time. So to me, it's been kind of a lighthearted episode. Let me see what y'all are saying. Antonio, I was not here for Spencer's pity party. All right, you're gonna have to break it down and like say more than just what do you mean by Spencer's pity party? I know what you mean, but I don't think the chat know what you mean. So you gotta say what you mean. Zamir says, I'm surprised they not going to UCLA. They've been pushing it since season 2. That might have been like a licensing thing. They might not want to pay UCLA to be able to use their name like that. And they already like, well, they're probably going to be filming on that campus too, but that might be some licensing stuff, honestly. That might really just be some political license bureaucratic stuff behind the scenes. Come on, RK. RK got you, Radiant. Go ahead. Like I don't see it. I don't see what's happening in the chat, but you might want to check the chat because it looked like RK hooking you up. Um, Ash Ari says I started with the Twitter comments this time around and currently watching it now while listening. Oh, okay. All right, well, it's good. Like, I think it's gonna be cool. This is not like a heavy episode at all. Like, to me, the heaviest thing that happened in this episode was the storyline around Olivia, and even that, it was just like, all right, I don't want this to happen, but okay. Like, it seemed like she was handling it beautifully. So cool, cool, cool. Lindsay says, I really like this episode, but I'm officially over Amina's situation. I've been over it. And okay, clearly, all right, sis, you are, in fact, their kid. This is your mama because you got a vendetta and you ready to ride for her. Okay, cool. My new name for her, y'all, is gonna be Baby Bookings because she's trouble. And that's what they put the kids when they go to jail for the first time. When they say that you down bookings, you've been arrested. When you're a kid, you go to baby bookings. Her new name from me is now Baby Bookings because I can't. Like, we're gonna start it off here because sis is literally pissed. She's going to be a problem. And I kind of get it with Coop too, but it's also like Coop, just focus on yourself. But then she can't focus on herself because she can't do music. She don't know what else to do with herself. I just want Coop to be able to occupy her time with something that's not a setup. I feel like Coop is steady walking in the setups. And the way this little girl is built, oh, this is going to be more than a problem. Amina is scarier than Tyrone and Mo combined. I don't know I think the scariest thing about Amina is that you don't know what she's going to do or what she's capable of. Especially because she comes in such a little small package. Like, it's giving child's play, it's giving little Chucky, and that part is definitely scary. However, it also was giving me specifically when she's looking at the camera or she's looking at her computer and then she got this little pie chart, this little graph up here. It was giving, okay, girl, you about to be your mama with this dumb scheme 2.0. Like, oh, we're gonna come up with some other little ridiculous sinister plan that's going to not even make any kind of sense and actually not be as scary as we thought it was going to be. So I'm hoping that we're leaning more towards that versus her actually being capable of like what her uncle was capable of. Either way, little girl is gonna be a problem, and she's progressively getting worse. And she has like 6 lines in every episode, but she's progressively getting worse. So I'm just like, okay. Can we? This is one of the storylines. So somebody mentioned that the Hudson storyline wrapped up kind of quickly. Amina is one of the storylines that they could really get through kind of quickly. Like, why are they dragging this on? I thought that Hudson was going to take a little bit longer too, in reference to not releasing Spencer so quickly. But why are we going to be sitting here dealing with little Chucky kid, little baby bookings for the foreseeable future? Coop now think that she really her auntie, trying to be her surrogate mama. I don't know where Preach is at, because bruh, where were you this episode while Coop is running around Crenshaw with your kid? Some, I don't know. We need some damn parental filters or something. Somebody needs to get wind to what this little girl got going on and in her back pocket, so that we can stop her and keep it moving. Baby Tyrone. Amina looks ready for retaliation. And the crazy thing is, it's like, girl, you ready for retaliation, but you also don't even know what happened. So who, like, and to me it was too easy for her to set her eyes on Coop, which means that maybe Mo like was had her privy to what was going on before. Did she know that her mom was coming after Coop? Like, was she a part of that plan? Because with her not actually knowing what happened to Mo, then how did she actually arrive to the point of like, oh, you're the common denominator and you're the problem? How? How, Sway? And yet again, Coop is taking the blame. Hey, Gabby. Coop is taking the blame for a kill that she didn't even do. She tried to ask your mama if y'all was good, if they was good. Coop gave her little Spencer James speech and said we good. That's all she did. I mean, and let her live. She barely made it out of there with her life. She don't even have her lungs all the way. She lost her dang on career. Coop done lost enough, baby girl. Baby Bookings Coop has lost enough. Darian says, I'm just over this whole Tyrone Mo Amina storyline. I agree. I agree. Antonio, if you see any, can you pin comments? I think you can. If you see any really dope comments, pin them, because I'm like missing them while I'm doing this little rant about this little girl. But y'all, I can't. I'm over it. Y'all are over it. What have we talked about so far? Gabby, we just getting started. We just talking about Amina right now and the problems that she's about to cause for Tamia Cooper. She is causing problems within Tamia's relationship already. And she's planning to do something with her. It's unbelievable to me, or maybe not unbelievable, that might be the wrong word. I'm having a very hard time wrapping my head around the idea that another person in Tyrone's bloodline is coming to kill Coop yet again. I just feel like we are going nowhere, specifically with this storyline, and as soon as we get out of it, we are back in it. Hey Naya, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, welcome to the chat. I think, okay, so Naya and Antonio, if y'all see a dope comment, y'all can pin it. I think just by clicking the comment or the person and then press pin, I guess. I don't know, child. Y'all know I don't be knowing. But yeah, so I just feel like we take like 5 steps forward and 8 back, because we literally have passed this vendetta for Coop from Tyrone to Mo, and now from Mo to Amina. It's just like, Amina, do you got a brother or sister, sis, or a cousin? Do you got an uncle? Because after this, after we get rid of little girl, I don't know if we gonna have to ship her away, if CPS got to be called, if she got to go to a boarding school in Switzerland or what. But once we get done with her, I don't want to hear nothing else about nobody else from their bloodline coming for Coop. That story is done. It is not y'all legacy. Y'all are not going down with generations of y'all families fighting. This is not what that is. Okay? When will we be free? When will we be free? Exactly. And I'm annoyed with the idea that they're actually going to allow this to be a thing that also feeds into the whole pushing Patience and Coop away from each other. I think that part was the thing that annoyed me the most. Not even her watching this back and like getting her in her feelings or whatever the case might be, but just like seeing what was going on with Patience and Coop, and knowing that this is about to be a real thing. Now, speaking of patience and Coop, we need to get a real DNA test. Nisi, listen, I think we just gonna have to go with it. She is Mo's actual daughter, and she really might be Preach actual daughter. So yeah. Shorty P says, and it's stupid at this point because she's a child. So what exactly is she gonna do? Yeah, what exactly is she gonna do? Like, are we gonna get a scene seeing her cop a pistol off the corner? Like, what are you really gonna do? What do you think that you can do? Generational. It's the Tyrone generational curse. He's haunting her at this point. Tyrone is literally haunting Coop, and I can't. I'm over it. Preach is going to jail again. I don't think he's going to jail again. He kind of got away with killing Mo, unless this little girl unearths the truth. Yeah, the storyline is kind of exhausting. I agree with y'all. Dante says Amina better be going somewhere with her 9-year-old self. Exactly. Yeah, she is. We gotta go ahead and live with it. It's actually happening. They're going down this vendetta route, so it is what it is. Tyrone is haunted. Listen, when that photo popped up and I saw Tyrone for the first time in like a whole season and a half, because I think that they did a pop up with him at the beginning of last season when Mo was remembering something. But to even see his face again, I was just like, okay, is this what we doing? Is this what we really doing? Shara says, I don't like that Coop is never happy for patients when things go good. For her, she's always needs to rethink and come again. Okay. So this was kind of hard to watch because I kind of got it. Like, Coop is literally watching all of her dreams, all of the hard work, all of all of what she had just poured herself into over the last few months. She's watching it basically evaporate right in front of her face. So I get it. I get how she's just not quick to like to understand and to celebrate and to cheer because it also feels like a dig. Honestly, they are really doing a good job of having Asher and Coop's journeys mirror each other because he does the same thing with JJ, and we're going to talk about that as well. But so I wasn't necessarily mad about how she reacted because she was definitely very shocked. I think that well, I wish because at the end of the day, it is what it is. And this was probably true of like they would not have had a conversation beforehand. But I kind of wish that Coop and Patience would have had a conversation about music, would have had a conversation about careers. When she made this proclamation that she was quitting, I kind of wish that Patience would have said, okay, well, just so you know, I'm not. And not that I think that Coop was expecting her to, but just to be clear in reference to what Patience expects. I think their relationship has been set up in a way where Patience has poured into Coop, has supported Coop, has loved Coop, has given a lot to Coop. And she didn't actually have to ask because she's very intuitive and empathetic. So she never really had to ask Coop what she needed. But what I would love for Patience to do before she actually washes her hands of this relationship is to actually communicate to Coop what she needs in reference to the love and support being reciprocated, so then we have a stronger measure to be able to kind of like measure Coop against. Because if you tell somebody like I need you to be cheering for me just as loud, I know that you don't, you're struggling around music or whatever, but when it comes to me and my if this is something that Patience expects or would like, then she needs to communicate that, because then when Coop isn't actually cheering, then you can hold her accountable, because sometimes you kind of need to like remind people, and not that you should have to, but sometimes you need to just remind people that it's not about them. And then this is what that moment gave me. Like I really understood how Coop was just like, oh, okay. Um and to me it felt like in this moment it was they seem to have understood each other. They seem to have gotten to a good place, but then all of a sudden, because Coop isn't going on tour with her anymore, now she's back pissed with her, and I'm just like, well, what are we doing with them? Are they going to break up or not? Because this whole me waiting with bated breath to wait to see if Patience is going to leave Coop is kind of getting annoying to me. But those are my thoughts. Let me see what y'all are saying. Gabby says we need to get to a point where Coop can grow as a character. I feel like between her and Jordan, they need to start adding more growth to those two characters. I agree. I agree. Jazz says, what did Tariq say? Ghosts never die. Tariq died. I mean, Tyrone died, but he ain't gone. Exactly. Did they even find Mo? The storyline is confusing. I mean, I think we can just safely assume that Mo was actually dead when the cops came and said that they were trying to figure out who killed her. Um, Now he says, my good sis Patience needs to do what Coop couldn't do and focus on music. Listen. Hey, PJ Clemens. Shout out to New Orleans. New Orleans is one of my favorite cities. I will forever, forever love New Orleans. Mercedes says she can be a ghostwriter or something. She ain't got to give it up completely. That's what I'm saying. Like, why is it that we just completely going cold turkey on the thing that we love, our passion, our purpose, our whole joy in life, girl? There's so many jobs in music that's not just rapper. You like, um, Layla literally wanted her to help come produce K Gritty, Knee Gritty. What is her name is? Ne- what? What's the new rapper's name, y'all? Dang it, what's her name? G Nitty. I'm trying to think of her rap so I can think of what her name was. I totally forgot what her name was. Y'all let me know in the chat what the new rapper that that Layla Sign's name is. But she could come produce for her, and even though that might be a little bit too close to home because that literally she like looks like Coop and everything. But you could do like she could write, she could ghostwrite, she could produce, she could manage, like she could do so many things within music. She don't have to like be stuck with just the idea of rapping. And I honestly feel like she hasn't given herself enough time to heal. So you don't even know if you are never going to be able to rap again, girl, because you out here trying to blow on the mic a week out the damn hospital. Like Kim Nitty, Kim Nitty, y'all right? Kim Nitty is her name. Um, yeah, her and Asher are having very, very similar storylines. Whose fault is that though? Coop put herself here. Why does everyone else have to continue to pay the emotional consequences of Coop's actions? That's real. That's real. Evan says, right, the way that Asher has helped and motivate where he can is what Coop needs to do. Exactly, girl. Like, occupy your dang on time. Because all this other stuff is just not giving what it's supposed to give. Wait, am I signed into the right account? Oh, that's why I can't pin. Okay. Let me switch my account over. Yeah, y'all, like, seriously. Um, I really think that Coop she just makes such rash decisions and such emotional decisions. It's like, girl, enough is enough. Haven't you learned yet? Okay, now I can pin. I think. Yes. Okay. Kim Nettie, Kim Nettie. I lost that girl's name for real, for real. But I do like. So while Coop is like, all right, girl, you're giving too much. I didn't think that she was as bad as she could be in this episode, and I appreciate her coming and like. Patience didn't even have to say anything about her response or her lack of a response. She held herself accountable and came to speak to that. So I was definitely proud of her in that moment. I was kind of a little about Patience like feeling a way about her not wanting to come on the tour because at the end of the day it is her tour. Like y'all are basically coming up with new posters and everything and sliding you into this slot, so I could kind of also feel how she don't want to go on that. And also when you think about it, she literally was being set up when she was going on this tour, and that like that could just be a trigger in reference to the shooting and everything. All of that stuff happened when she was leaving to go to um Las Vegas on this tour. So I get why she don't want to go. I hate that she used Amina as the excuse because it's like, girl, don't nobody care about this little girl. We do not care about little orphan Annie. Sorry, not sorry. She coming for Coop on behind the scenes, so now I'm on her head, just so y'all know. So I kind of wish that she would have leaned a little bit more into like I'm not ready to revisit, that particular sequence of events because that was definitely traumatic, but The whole leaning on Amina thing, I just thought was girl no. Now, how it actually parlays or is parallel to what Asher got going on is Asher has a moment with JJ after he coaches him up, tries to advise him, and JJ goes a whole different route, man. JJ, okay, so Antonio and Naya are both in this chat right now. Y'all gonna have to clarify to me if you actually see what I was saying before in reference to the inconsistencies with JJ's character, and y'all was all like, "Oh yeah, JJ was killing it." Da, 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 da. Now they have made it very, very convenient of like, "Oh, you only did it for four games. You really should go up as a linebacker. You're not really a quarterback. Get it together. Don't do this. You're much better in this position." I thought that was very interesting, y'all. I thought that was very interesting, and we was in those rewatches, and y'all was having me fight for my life because I was pointing out certain things in reference to how they were using JJ's character to just prop up other people's storylines. And now that this is actually JJ's storyline, we see that he is really best at linebacker, and just like he needed last season, he also needed like the validation of Asher. He leaned on Jordan in the last season, but he needed the validation of Asher in this episode to really get his mind right and get to a place where he could actually focus and basically show out. Not you holding on for dear life, Antonio, talking about he killed the 4 games though. I'm gonna take that as a you see what I was saying. But I brought that up to say Asher mirrored Coop in that once he comes in, JJ gets an offer to Coastal California, and then Asher talking about some that's my scholarship. Sir, no, it's not. It never was. That was the school you got a scholarship for. But if he's a linebacker and you are a wide receiver, if 2 plus 2 was 4, and 5 plus 5 is 10. What the hell are you talking about, Asher? That was not your damn scholarship. Y'all weren't even recruited for the same exact position. And as far as I know, now don't get me wrong, because I don't be watching football and whatnot, but recruiting is not interchangeable in reference to positions. You need a certain amount of linebackers, you need a certain amount of wide receivers, you need a certain one quarterback. So, boy, when he said that, I was just like, Asher, what you're not going to do is regress over this bullshit. That's what you're not going to do. They found somebody to fill your spot, sir, but it wasn't JJ because he's a dang on linebacker, and you've been talking about it this whole episode. So why are you tripping? Why? He said, yeah, he needs to go through the quarterback route to come back. So I kind of still stand by it. You go ahead, stick beside it, girl. Go ahead, stick beside it. Joy was being a hater last season with JJ. I still stand by that. JJ didn't deserve the negativity from his friends. I never said that he didn't deserve the. I mean, I never said that he did deserve it. I just said they were being very inconsistent with his character and were using him as they see fit to prop up others. But y'all go ahead and stand beside it. I can't. I cannot with y'all. I didn't tell him to do that. That's the. I can't. If y'all need to really, when we start our rewatches back up, y'all should really join our rewatches because we literally cut up and have a great time. All right, Zai says they give out a certain amount of scholarship for the team regardless of position, but then he changed to defense in season 3. Asher wasn't a linebacker. Diva, we are talking about Asher and him being pissed about him being pissed about JJ taking his scholarship. Asher switched to be a linebacker. Asher don't even have no muscles. How is he a linebacker? Don't you gotta be strong to do that? But you're right, Melissa. Asher did switch to defense, but I don't think he switched to being a linebacker. I think he switched to being one of them little people who be calling everything and could see everything and could like help instruct people. He plays. Oh yeah, he plays safety. I knew it wasn't linebacker. Asher too scrawny to be somebody linebacker out here. No, I think he plays safety. He did not switch to defensive back. Oh, y'all throwing out every position now. Yeah, I thought he switched to safety. Either way, he ain't switched to linebacker or linebacker. And they're not just recruiting like no college football coach is going to come and recruit six linebackers just because they have six scholarships open. They're going to recruit for the positions that they actually need. The same way with like basketball. Like if you already got a bunch of post people and some centers, you're not going to go recruit five, six, seven people when you know you need a shooting guard and a point guard. Like that's not how this works. Yes, Asher. Lauren says Asher was absolutely sick when he found out JJ took his scholarship, but he was about to pass out. But he didn't even take his scholarship though. But I get it. I understood why Asher felt the way because it's coastal California and that was his dream, and we're watching him process it. Again, I'm glad. Well, actually, Layla helped him get to the point where he understood what was going on and that he needed to go and apologize to JJ. So I'm glad that he arrived at that point, even though he didn't arrive at it on his own. The most peculiar thing about this is why did he need to go get this advice from Layla? Like nobody has referenced them smashing or hooking up, but I don't believe in coincidences, y'all. How did y'all feel about this scene? Let me know how y'all felt about Asher and Layla. Asher is fine. He need to let it go. No, Brittany, Asher and Layla aren't a thing, even though I feel like they're trying to give us this as the next slow burn. They're getting all chummy and consistent and supporting each other. She even made a reference in her dialogue about how he was actually, texting her and how she should have just let him continue to spiral in text. Shari says, I normally tune out of football of the show. I don't know what y'all talking about. I can't. I love it though. That's real. They are becoming a thing. I think that they are trying to make them become a thing, and I just am not here for Lasher 2.0. Shelby, it is 100% a preview for Lasher 2.0, and it's just like, I didn't ask for this. They may end up back together. Layla's storyline isn't given this season. All right, Melissa, now let's not do that because sis popped off the first two episodes of the season lit. I think that they have chilled out on Layla because they did such huge arcs with her, with the talking Carrie off the ledge and realizing that she forgave everybody and she and admitting that she wants to live. And in the birthday party, her double downing in, wanting to use her voice and actually articulated how she hasn't been a kid for a very long time. Like all of that was very heavy, meaty stuff. So I think now what we're seeing is just a little bit less because we ain't gonna be able to get like Layla focused bangers every single episode. You feel me? Miguel, who's biased? I'm biased. I'm biased because I don't like Lasher. I don't want Lasher to happen. Lasher 2.0. Let me know. Clarify a little bit for me. Layla is still a confidant. Tamara says, I appreciate their friendship. Asher and Layla are both maturing slowly but steadily. Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at their friendship, but they need to keep it there. Keep it there and don't be bumping private parts. Stop that. Keep it at the friend level. Asher like this new spicy Layla. A lot of y'all like this new spicy Layla. Oh, Mercedes, you want to know why? Well, I ain't even got to the preview yet, so we're gonna talk about episode 6 that's coming. Go ahead, Naya. You better protect Lele. Shout out to Naya P. She is converted. She was not a rider for little Lele at the start of this year, and my how things have changed. Homecoming gate, I can't. Hey, A. Fulton. No worries. I love this new. I know you like this new spicy or love this new spicy Layla, Naya. Shari, you said I love Layla on the first episode. At this point, she lives, breathes, and do other things in that studio. Uh, yes, I can see how the Asher thing is making you not like Layla's storyline because it just feels like we're going back. Like it feels like with a few people we're actually going back to where we were before, and it's like, do we really want to go and revisit this? With Coop and now another one of, Tyrone's kin coming for her. Do I really want to go through this in another season? Layla going back to Asher. Do we really want to go back to season one? Like, do we really want this? So I totally get it. Even with the conversation around Olivia in this episode and them pushing her to be a sponsor, I was just like, my good sis is not ready. What are we doing? What are we doing and why are we doing it? Even that feels like, you know how you do something before you're ready and it kind of like puts you in a position and it could compromise your growth or all of that. That's one thing that I'm definitely scared for. One thing that I will say though with Olivia and how they actually had this conversation around her walking into this new responsibility of sponsorship, they did so from a very grounded place. There was not one moment in this episode where we actually saw her like rattled at all. And my only concern now that she has walked into being this young lady's sponsor is that this girl doesn't put her in any positions by way of like Olivia having to come get her from some crazy party or step in and intervene if she's doing something that's going to compromise her safety, because at the end of the day, that's what a sponsor is supposed to do. The sponsor is supposed to be the person that you call when gets real, in addition to talking to you on a regular days. But they're supposed to be the one person in the world who you can call to come make sure that you don't hit rock bottom. And I think they have been able to show Olivia's growth very, very quickly in these first 5 episodes. So she does feel very, very solid and grounded. And even if she's put in a position where she's called to show up and do something for this girl or protect her from something, she could definitely be able to handle it. It's just like, I don't know if I want her to have to. Does that make sense, y'all? Sometimes leadership is thrust upon you. And that's all fine and good when we're talking about, captain of your football team or volleyball team or debate team or running for student council or something like that. Sobriety is a whole other thing. You can't just be throwing something on top of somebody when they are, on a journey of sobriety. Yes, Naya, I agree. Like Naya says, but I love that she actually pondered saying no instead of jumping right into it and talked it out. Exactly. Those are like the little nuanced things that like, okay, Olivia, there's growth there, sis. You ain't get all super rattled and shake. You didn't just immediately like, okay, yes, I gotta put everybody before me. You sat and you thought about it. You really weighed the pros and cons, and it wasn't until Spencer made the comment about you are probably the perfect person to do this because she wouldn't actually probably land with somebody who can see exactly where she is in her journey, that she was like, okay, maybe I could do this. So I agree. Melissa says, I don't think she was ready to be a sponsor, but I have faith in Nurse Joy's judgment. Yeah, so they had me questioning Nurse Joy for a split second in this, but I'm gonna ride for Nurse Joy because she ain't let me down yet. I started to feel like, dang, they using Nurse Joy to push this thing too. Like, would Nurse Joy tell her this in this moment? Like, Olivia literally just got back on the wagon, and it's very hard to track timing with them. But like, she might be like 45 days out from the moment where she came home and like told them or whatever after the whole Spencer outing her and her digging in the trash for the alcohol and all that kind of stuff. This is probably like 45 days from then, and I'm just like, okay, that feels like it's too soon, but we also find Olivia in this moment very grounded and happy and solid in the life that she has. So, since she's made such quick progress and Nurse Joy has been able to see that and she thinks that she could be ready for it. And also, I think that another thing, like Nurse Joy thinks that Olivia can help this girl, but I also think that Nurse Joyce thinks that Olivia helping this girl can continue to help Olivia. So once I started to think about that, I'm like, all right, I'm back on the Nurse Joy train. She got it. Whatever she say, we doing it. We rolling with whatever Nurse Joy say. I actually tweeted that, Diva. I tweeted that. I was like, I really did not want them to make her a sponsor. I wanted her to be able to enjoy the last few months of her just being a teenager. Like, my God, can I get Olivia and Spencer to just have like a month, maybe a month and a half of their senior year where they ain't got to worry about nothing but being them, being seniors. Spencer, you have now committed to the school that you actually want to go to. You done found you another strong black man to be your coach that's going to buy into you and your future and be invested. Now it's time to live it up teenage lifestyle. Like, now it's time to just be free because these teenagers have not been able to be free. Rayleigh says, yeah, not sure why Nurse Joy pushed 17-year-old girl who's in the midst of recovery, whose coping mechanisms for addiction is to focus on others, to be responsible for a whole other teenager. You articulated it, I didn't. I mean, that was definitely my initial concerns, but I'm going to trust. I'm going to have a little faith, and I'm going to trust Nurse Joy, and I'm going to trust Olivia, which is a lot because by the end of season 3, I was not trusting Olivia with herself. I really wasn't. Dante, I think it's the way Liv approached the situation. Yep, I agree. I definitely agree. Okay, so moving on. We also got to see they gave y'all Spolivia moment in this episode too. They gonna keep sprinkling it in. I hope y'all enjoying. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. The CW gave us a little moment of Spolivia, reaffirming one another. Got Daniel out here with his little chesticles all out, percolating and whatnot. They like, look, we hear y'all. We got y'all. I loved it. Honestly, it wasn't too much. It was a quick scene. Spencer, reaffirmed the idea of her actually becoming a sponsor. She, reaffirmed the idea of him, committing to the school or at least thinking about the school. The guy knew his dad. Like all of that. It's just giving what it was supposed to give. They are. They are so dang on cute. Listen, Naya. We watched Love and Basketball on one of the rewatches. They were definitely giving Quincy and Monica, okay? They were giving. Nia, Nia said, listen. Yes, they are giving what needs to be gave this season. And it's so dope to see. It's not forced, it's so natural. When the scenes pop up, it's just like a nice little pleasant surprise, a little mint or chocolate on our pillow. Like, here you go. And I'm just very grateful. I'm so grateful. All right. I had to do a little Spolivia moment because they definitely gave us one, so I wanted to definitely mention that. All right, moving on. Mr. Jordan Baker. Y'all, I appreciate that Jordan is riding and like gonna go with the flow and whatnot. He seems to be in good spirits and all of that jazz. He's understood the assignment and he's like, I can go to a JUCO, it's fine, but I'm gonna still come here and show out. And then in this episode, he ultimately gets a scholarship. Is it just me, or do y'all feel like Jordan is getting things a little too easy? I really want to know. Please let me know in the chat right now. Do y'all think that Jordan is getting things a little bit too easy? Give me the raise hand emoji or tell me why you agree in the chat. Jen Marie says Jordan still bothers me too. I'm a little proud of him. Okay. Jordan and Spencer definitely going to the same school. Child Jordan got his wish. Can we stop hearing him whine now? Mercedes says, yep, the way he act, he don't deserve a damn thing sometimes. Gabby says he's definitely getting things too easy. Now, don't get me wrong. I do want Jordan to be able to play at the next level. I just want him to get things after changing. Like, I want him to actually go through the process of making progress and growth and evolving. Then he gets these things. Like, all he did is like really work out great and throw some great passes to Spencer. Like, throw some great passes to Spencer, which has never been his problem. And now he got the one thing that he has been really wanting for these last few episodes, because this definitely wasn't a priority the way that it should have been, or he would have been making better decisions last season. But it's like, bro, you literally have yet to like really change. And I get that a big thing for him is like listening to Billy and just not going rogue and doing something on his own that could compromise his health. Okay, cool. But I also need Jordan to show me that he's actually a dedicated person. He's actually hardworking and not, because Jordan gives me the person who's going to work hard when you're looking. Jordan gives me the person that's going to work hard when he knows what could potentially come from it, or he can see the prize at the end. Spencer is the dude that's going to bust his ass and work hard as he can just because he wants to be the best. Jordan is only going to do it when he knows he can get something from it, and that has to change. If you go to college or you play in college on any type of competitive level at any type of competitive program, you cannot be the type of player that only does things to get seen. You will get your ass whipped. Period. Excuse my French, y'all. Like, you just can't do that on multiple levels. Mentally, physically, emotionally. When you're going to the next level in sports, when you're going to the next level in life, you cannot always keep these same minuscule mindsets that you have. And I just want Jordan to break free of this BS. I want Jordan to break free from this immaturity, and he's just not doing it, and still riding the coattails of the people around him, i.e. Jordan, i.e. Spencer in this case, just making it to the next thing. And it's just like, okay, so at what point is homie gonna actually earn something? Like, really earn it, not like kinda earn it. Okay, that was my little rant. Let me see what y'all saying. Um, Evan, he worked hard on the field for this combine. Spencer has been working hard from Pop Warner. I'm just saying, like, that wasn't like to you, but that was just like for me, like recalling, what Jordan has actually put in, and for him to basically be getting the same thing that Spencer gets. I'm just looking at it like, okay. Nia Love says, I think they giving us this for Jordan because he's about to lose Simone. Kenny Ford says, hashtag Team Jordan, I'm proud of him. Y'all too hard on my boy. No, we not hard enough. What, we too hard on Spencer. Spencer the one with the weight of the world always on his shoulders. Some of that need to come off and jump on Jordan Baker's back, but I'ma mind my business. Braylon Wilson says he's probably not going to be much playing time at Angelo. Oh yeah, because he definitely got a preferred walk-on spot, but he still got a spot. So they did make a point to like give that little distinction, which okay, you definitely remind me of that. Um, but honestly, y'all, I just don't want Jordan to leave high school still on the same BS that he's on. Like, we get it. You fine, you tall, you play football, you light skinned, you come from Beverly Hills, so you got some money. But Jordan, please go out into the world and understand that there's more to you than that, and you can offer the world that. Please don't be out here just being some little raggedy light skinned Negro that is capitalizing off of his pretty privilege and his money. Because that's what you was given season one. That's what you was given season two. Like, enough. Enough. Whether he's with Simone or not, enough. In my opinion, my humble opinion, y'all. Shari says it's been like this the whole series. Antonio agrees as well. JS Wave. I mean, he's only a walk on. He still has to earn a full scholarship. But he also don't even need the scholarship. He wants the opportunity to play. Like, the money for the scholarship ain't the problem. Laura's going to pay for that. He wants the opportunity to try to make it to the NFL, and being on the team, he still gets that same opportunity. Um I agree because Spencer had to go through all of these hardships, but then Jordan got what he wanted in an episode. He did the Ash Ari says no, I think it is social capital at work and he did the work for it. Can you kind of explain what you mean by he did the work for it? IDK, because he is the last one to have a coach talk to him or offer him a scholarship. So it was a little earn. That's what I'm saying. Put a little asterisk there. It's a little earn. A little. He needs consistent upward growth from Jordan, then we can talk. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. He did handle the JUCO idea maturely for 2 episodes. Like, I would have respected this a little bit more if they would have waited until the end of whatever their senior year is for Jordan to get like a last minute offer and us actually see him process this JUCO idea and be fully willing to go along with it for an extended period of time. They also just they moved through that storyline very quickly. He did recover from an injury, balled out in the championship game, balled out in the All American game, did go at this event. Right, but Zion, I'm also speaking about the person that he is, not just who he is on the field. Tink Love Music says, I think he will still be a brat in college because he will still be in Spencer's shadow. So while we all rooting for Spencer and Jordan going to college together, are we going to forget that Jordan is still Jordan is still kind of harboring some kind of resentment towards Spencer? And no, he's not acting on it, but Jordan is still very much so like, I guess for the best way I can say it, Jordan is definitely still processing the fact that Spencer is a star and he's not. Like, let's be real. That was half of that whole conversational argument around why doesn't nobody think that I'm great? And do we think that he's going to get over this or move through this fully when he gets to this school and he's the walk on and Spencer's the star? Yes, he is, but he's at least earning it because before his dad really gave him everything, not getting a scholarship really humbled him and opened his eyes. We waiting on Jordan to stand on his own. Unfortunately, it may never happen. Ooh, that's a word. That is a word. Brittany, I agree. I believe Simone matured him, but when Simone leaves, he'll go back to being an old Jordan, and that is my concern. And I've been saying that, y'all. Every time Jordan comes up, I have been saying that. Naya will tell you because every time I get a chance to say it, because she's already been on Jordan's head, and I have been saying that over and over again. And Jordan doesn't need a scholarship. His parents are rich, rich. Kenny, you running Team Jordan? Okay, Kenny's running Team Jordan. You go ahead and stick beside him. That's my man. I'ma stick beside him. I love this. Jen Marie says, right. I think Jordan was on the JUCO train, but not really. He would have handled Spencer getting a scholarship if he didn't. Oh, how? Oh, he wouldn't have handled Spencer getting a scholarship if he didn't. He knew Daddy Baker would come through. Ooh. Jordan is a conditional supporter. I don't think that's about to change at college. But it needs to. We want better for you, sir. We want better. Jordan, you gonna have to give us better. Like, I can't. Jordan was legit happy with JUCO. Okay. Let me know if I'm mispronouncing this, but Sinelli, not everyone has a tough life. Let Jordan cruise. I would not have a problem with letting Jordan hit cruise control if that cruise control didn't steadily swerve into everybody else's lane and wreak havoc on them. Like, had he not set his eyes to seek and destroy Spencer James in season one, I would have never gotten on his head. I would have been like, okay, you little nice skinned Negro that, leans into his pretty privilege and his wealth. Go ahead and be great. But the moment Jordan showed himself to one, do that, then try to cultivate a relationship with him, but then also now flip flop. And when he get a chance, he wants to swing on Spencer. Then he wants to apologize. Then he wants Spencer to be there for him. He feels like all of that. Now I'm on your head because you're not just being a little cute light skinned Negro with a bunch of money leaning into your pretty privilege and frolicking. You're no longer cruise controlling. You keep grabbing hold of the wheel and pressing acceleration so that you can crash into Spencer James, and now we got problems. So I feel you, but Jordan also brought a lot of this on himself. Because if he would just stay in his lane, nobody would have anything to say. If they bring back Isaiah, I could see a friendship with him and Jordan, make Jordan open his eyes and learn some things. I don't know about that, but I hear you. Jordan needs to start building his confidence. That's why he tries to reassure others, but he doesn't feel confident in himself. Facts. I think he will become a lame boy who parties too much once he doesn't have Simone. He never reacts responsibly to problems. And I need them to get it together. I need Jordan to cultivate some of the skills that he's going to be able to need, or he's going to need to be able to get through college, to be able to not get too distracted, to be able to not destroy his life and turn around and destroy Spencer's life. Y'all, they going to the same daggone school. You think Spencer's going to sit by and watch Jordan do this? Like, let's say this becomes Jordan. How is this going to affect Spencer James? Jordan, Spencer's gonna be all over this, and now you got Jordan. I mean, now you got Spencer distracted because you distracted. It's just Jordan. You gonna have to grow up. You just gonna have to. I'm sorry. You can no longer even be a part of this friend group anymore if you don't grow up. Layla has evolved. Spencer has evolved. Olivia is evolving, honey. We were asking for Olivia's growth, and the CW came back and said, "Here, shut up, please, Erica. Please shut up now." And I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna sit over here and I'm gonna be quiet." Jordan, you're gonna have to grow. Asher is growing, has grown. Jordan, you are the weakest link. You finna be goodbye because you can't hang with us. You ain't on our level, baby. You ain't on our level. Jordan knows his parents will always bail him out of Ish, pay for Ish, just let him be mediocre. They need to cut him off so we get to see the real Jordan. I'm here for Jordan getting cut off in college. I'm here for that storyline. Oh, I'm so here for it. I love that. Let me pin that. I love that, Jen Marie. So much. Wait, when was Jordan? Oh, you know what? Kenny, we gonna move on because Kenny and Brittany, y'all down in this comments in this chat fighting for Jordan's life, and I love it. I love it. I love it, y'all. I love that we can have these conversations and we pick our sides. If Jordan not a part of the Fab Tour, I think well, one it needs to be like the Fab Six. They need more spots, right? Jordan, y'all, I just really want Jordan to grow. I really want Jordan to become a better man. That's it. I know I'm coming at him real hard, but I just want him to do better. Like when you really sit down and put it like that, right? Spencer evolved through his anger, got more grounded, dropped even deeper into vulnerability, open, clear. Just he does still have his superhero complex, but he is grown. Layla was depressed, didn't want to do life, felt alone, not confident, just not able to actually stand in her purpose and power. What is she doing now? all of that. Standing in her purpose and power, communicating, using her voice, communicating not only what she needs, but what she wants. Standing by that, not always going to an idea of like she can't speak up for herself because then people will love her less or not want her around. She's doing that. Even looking at her and Olivia's relationship and how that has evolved. We're getting the nuances in this episode of like, oh yeah, Layla just keeps playing your demo over and over and over again. Like they're in the house just living and being and just connected to one another. So beautiful to see. Growth. Olivia lost her damn mind last season. Lost her whole mind. Like literally just threw that hoe. Just and now we see her prioritizing what comes first, herself and her sobriety, maintaining a healthy, conscious, beautiful relationship, figuring out what she wants to do next and going after that in a healthy way, growth. Asher processing the one thing that he has always wanted, has always communicated that, because that's one thing that Asher has always had in common with Spencer. Asher has always been about this football life. Jordan might have played football, but Asher was living football and was about this football life. He also had a problem with taking responsibility, holding himself accountable. He was just damn right a trash ass person. And the Asher that we see today is grounded, responsible, can motivate and support others, is actually a team player. Growth. The only thing Jordan has done differently is when he's in his relationship with Simone. And sis finna go off to college. She cannot be your morality meter no more, Jordan. Period. Sorry, I just had to break that down real quick, y'all. Naya said, y'all better be Jordan soldiers up in here. It's tough love out here for Jordan. All right, but okay. We're gonna do this last thing and then we're gonna move on for Jordan because we have spent a lot of time on him. Can y'all actually tell me his growth journey in the chat? I'm gonna give y'all some time and some space to tell me his growth journey because I just outlined to you the things that I felt like I saw with the other characters. Now y'all gonna have to articulate what Jordan is given to show that he has also grown as well. I'm gonna start pinning some of them so that we can make sure we note them. I've been sitting this rant. I'm sorry. I've been going off on rants for real, y'all. My bad. Now I'm Ray Charles to it. Listen, y'all got time and space. Y'all better drop these Jordan growth journeys in the chat. He not a hoe no more. Barely. Because he going back to this whole life of Simone, if it don't work out with her. None other than Simone. All right. I done gave y'all time. Still put some more in there, but what Zai is saying, none other than Simone. And part of the problem with the idea around the growth that Jordan has shown with Simone is that it's conditional. And if he only displays it while he's with this other person, or he only behaves this way because this other person, is it actually growth, or is it a performance? I really want to know. He look out for Olivia a little bit more. Well, the fact that he was negative 15 in that anyway, he's still coming up out of a hole, so I ain't giving him credit for that. Jordan hasn't changed much since season one. His character development is always temporary until he throws a tantrum when he doesn't get his way. Season one, Jordan was reckless. When he swung on Spencer at that damn championship game, it gave season one vibes. He's better with Olivia, I guess. Listen, y'all out here fighting for y'all lives in this chat or fighting for Jordan's life. But then when I asked y'all to actually detail what the growth is, I could come with my receipts for the people that I'm rocking with or that I can actually see. Y'all ain't giving me no receipts. So I think, knock, knock, knock. The case has been adjourned. And whoever brought up Coop, because I did see that in the chat, but it already passed. She is also one of the weakest links, which is probably why this should be the the spectacular six, and these two finna get voted off the island to make it the Fab Four. Okay? Because Coop is as well. She's a thin line. Coop is on a thin line, and she gonna have to show some growth too because enough is enough. Naya said Naya ain't forgot. Naya has not forgot at all. All right, y'all. So moving on just a bit, let's talk about Spencer and this new coach, the coach for Golden Angeles University, Angelos University, one of those two. I'm gonna get it right for my breakdown video. If y'all are new here and it's your first time kicking it with me, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. I don't know where we're at for likes because I'm watching the chat, but also go ahead and like this video, y'all. Please give me the likes. I don't be, promoting that kind of stuff enough, but clearly I need to. Make sure that you like this video if you're watching, if you're enjoying this conversation. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. While we might disagree, we always gonna kiki, okay? I love it. That's like a new saying. Y'all like that saying? We're gonna go with that for a little bit. I am really excited to see the relationship develop between Spencer and this new coach. And I love that they given another little dark skin, fella who was going to show up for Spencer, and he seems super solid. I'm like, okay, come on, pass the torch, Billy Bean. And now we got this new man in here, and hopefully he ain't on no bull like Billy has been. I am so here for it. The way that he actually even handled scoping Spencer out, not letting Spencer know like that he was actually capable, or I'm the wide receiver coach. He didn't even tell Spencer that. He was like, "Yo, let's kick it and talk about your father. Like, I'm from this area. Let's kick it and talk about that." I just feel like his energy just felt great from the jump. I'm kind of only thing that I'm a little bit sad about because y'all had actually got me hype about this, so this is actually y'all's fault. Specifically, it's Naya's fault because I was actually hoping that they was gonna bring Coach Dante back in some way. He was gonna be coaching as JUCO or doing something. But now that we got this new great coach who seems great because we don't know for sure yet, that to me is definitely like the nail in the coffin of like Coach Dante is not coming back. So y'all done got me excited about this man, and we ain't even gonna get to see him no more. But we get to see this wide receiver coach recruit Spencer for Golden Angeles Southern, and Spencer accepts after thinking about it for a little bit, which is what he should have did with Toledo. I'm still not over all of y'all rooting for him signing early with Toledo. But since Billy Bean got him up out of here, I'm gonna go ahead and let bygones be bygones. He takes time in this episode to really just think about it, and then he ultimately goes with his vibe. I think it's so dope that they're also tying this man to his father. Like, he has more stories that he could tell him about his father. It just feels like it's ordained, and it feels like Spencer deserves, and I am so happy for him. Yo, we ain't gonna talk about how fine he is, but he is fine. Yes, and some fresh coach energy. Cause while like I love, I know I was on Billy's head for a while, y'all, as I should have been. But at the end of the day, overall, I did love like the role that Billy assumed in Spencer's life and how they were able to be when things were really, really great. I did feel like that had run its course. And I'm looking forward to Billy falling back into like a father role and going to watch his games and support him and being there to like call when, coach is on his ass or things are getting real. Spencer will always have Billy to be able to call and like go to in that regard. But I definitely felt like it was time for somebody else to now take the reins and help Spencer get to the next level. Now, what I will say, y'all, is I'm not gonna get too settled in this idea because they got to do something with Billy Bean. And Taye Diggs is a phenomenal actor. I don't see him exiting the series anytime soon. So we don't know what they're going to actually figure out to keep him more integrated into their story, into Spencer's story. But I'm very, very excited for how this actually happens. With this episode, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay down my arms and I'm off Billy Bean's head. Naya, I'm sorry to leave you out here by yourself. But I told you, like I told you in our little chat, Naya, I think I sent this in a voice message. I said, if Billy gets Spencer out of like this Toledo issue, we cool they lie. Now, this is his job. This is what he's going to do to make up for everything. Yes, he still should apologize. Yes, he needs to treat Spencer better. But I just needed him to get him out of there. So I'm so sorry, Naya, but I'm off Billy Bean's head. I'm off his head. What are y'all thinking? Coach Dante pulled a Casper. Don't put that on me. I can't. Not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed we won't have Dante or UCLA, but I digress. Yes. Kenny says I was with you, Erica. He should have waited on that Toledo thing. Yes. Seeing how he knows his dad, hopefully he doesn't switch up once he get there. Let's hope not. Listen, this is Spencer's season, okay? This is Spencer deserved season. I don't want to hear nothing else coming his way. No more issues. Oh, Jim Marie. Okay, Naya, you're not by yourself. You on Billy's head with Naya. There you go. He on probation. Probation, you hear? Maybe Billy goes to Coastal California. I don't trust Billy or his son. Okay. All right, well, y'all can go ahead and carry the torch of being on Billy's head. That's so real. So, Rayleigh Johnson, thank you so much for bringing that up. Okay. They said, I didn't even realize that the disappearance of Dante triggered his abandonment issues until Liv brought it up. Perfect way to tie that in and also show his growth from season one. I totally agree. And it wasn't until then too, because I was just like, I just thought it was messed up. Like, it's messed up that not that Coach Dante left, but even if he got fired, the fact that the head coach didn't say anything, I thought that was just jacked up, right? But when you think about it like that, and Coach Dante not actually reaching out or telling Spencer anything, you can see how that actually could play out in his mind and be a real, real problem. So, and I thought it was really great that they showed that in reference to Olivia picking up on that and bringing that to everybody's attention. I loved it. And you're right, it truly did show growth. Radiant says, I love the look of the coach from Toledo when Billy threatened his career. He looked like an old crusty, raggedy, you know what, man, who had just been bested. You thought you ate, but give me that fucking plate, okay? You thought, sir. Now get the hell out of my office. Oh, I felt so vindicated watching Billy just sit there like, because no, it's the program, no coach is above the program. Pal. Now it's time for Billy to treat Spencer as a son and Olivia's boyfriend, not just Spencer the football player. I agree. I'm, I'm in the minority with Billy. The masses still hate him. Listen, I just needed him to get Spencer out of this. I'm not going to say that I don't, like, I'm just not thinking about Billy, honestly. He put together this combine. He got his son an offer. He got, JJ another look. Chris got another look. Frosto got another look. I ain't paying Billy no mind, honestly. So maybe that's a better way to put it. Billy did what I needed him to do, so he could just go ahead and fade the black for the rest of the season, as far as I'm concerned. Because I don't care. Just do right by Laura and try to be there for your kids better than you have been in the past. Other than that, I don't really care what he do. Don't show him to me, actually. I don't need to see Billy on my screen. Now they don't have to be coach player. I think the relationship will grow even stronger, more father son, and I'm here for that. Yeah, I'm here for that too. Yeah, Liv did do the same thing when when Spencer went to the cabin by himself. Speaking of which, next week they're gonna recreate this cabin episode, but it's gonna be in a more lighthearted note, which will be interesting to see. I'm hoping, like you mentioned, Dante. I'm hoping that this new coach doesn't have any kind of shady things to him or anything like that. But I'm really looking forward to what's that's going to look like. And I really believe, y'all, that midway through this season, so by episode 11, they will be done with high school. I definitely think that the second half of the season, we're going to see them start college. And I'm excited for that. Tink says everybody doesn't apologize verbally, they do it in action, so he gets a pass this episode. Listen, Evan, go ahead and speak about it. Go ahead and speak about it. Laura's hair was laid in this episode, and I'm so sorry I don't have any pictures of her, I don't think, pulled up and ready to go. Laura and her daughter, like, they just always gonna give a look. They always just gonna give a look. Laura with that damn Farrah Fawcett she had going on was given, and I want them to use Laura more and not about like. I'm so glad like we started the episode off and she's just like, oh, I'm gonna fight that Spencer, so you ain't even gotta worry. And I'm like, yes, we love this energy. I want to just be able to see her live and happy more. I would love if they gave us another episode this season where we get to see the moms get together and maybe or like oh they should do something where the moms get together and celebrate their success, right? Like their kids are going off to college. Jordan got a scholarship, Spencer got a scholarship. He got out of this mess with Toledo. I know that Denise's daughter is still going to be at the school, but I want them to be able to loop her into. I would love to see that. All right, y'all. We talked about everything. Did we miss anything in this live? I thought this was gonna be a quick live because this episode felt so light and free and airy, but we literally sat here and kiki for the same amount of time. Yeah, I'm starting to notice that they're giving us more nuanced scenes with Jordan, with Billy validating Jordan. Like in this episode, we saw him, he hugged Jordan and it was just like, I'm so proud of you, son. It was like an extended embrace, and you know that Jordan be needing that. So I agree. I would like to see Laura and Liv interact so that we can see where their relationship is and how they're getting back or even going past getting a deeper relationship than what they even had before. Let me see if I missed anything. Let's see y'all's comments from this. I'm reading the chat, but then also, y'all want to talk about the preview? Ice says, I think Asher's going to get offered a coaching job at Coastal California. He has not, I don't know about that. Maybe assistant or apprentice or internship or something because he can't go and coach and he hasn't even gone through high school. He has to be able to, like, typically coaches have gone to college. Like, I used to coach volleyball. One of the hardest things I've ever done. Not gonna lie, that Billy and Jordan hug left a little twinkle in my eye. I feel that. Okay, so what I can say, because I've been thinking about this, y'all have been saying this for a while. Ash needs to be a coach. Ash needs to be a coach. Wherever Billy goes next, I can see Asher going there as a student and then interning or apprenticing as a coach and supporting Billy. I could totally see that happening. That would be the only way that he would have like such an easy in to coach at that type of level. We also don't talk about Chris enough. We didn't get to see Chris a lot in this episode. I was excited to see him, period, but he be in and out so much, and I know he be booked. That actor who plays him, Spence Moore, the second, I believe, he be booked, so he don't even be on set and recording as much as I would like to see him. All right, so it looks like we're going to talk quickly about the preview. I'm going to definitely do a preview breakdown video so we can get into that. But next week's episode, Spencer plans a little. Actually, let me pull it up because I watched it really quickly, but then Was trying to get ready for this live. From what I saw, Spencer puts together a little cute little moment for him and Olivia at the cabin, and then everybody pops up. Why everybody pops up, I do not know. It's given they don't care about y'all's privacy. It's given we bored. It's given Spencer will never get any alone time at this cabin. Let me see. Are you watching the 4400? So random. I gotta catch up on some videos for them. I haven't posted my videos, but I recorded them. Yo, JJ didn't JJ didn't upgraded from the porta party to a damn sprinter van party. What? Okay. Y'all started off. What do y'all want to talk about with this? Because it's giving me stress. Y'all already know I'm here for Jamone, and I'm not looking forward to this conversation that they're about to have, but I want to see more of Simone, so I'm excited to watch next week's episode. Olivia is not going to get the alone time that they actually are looking for because of this, but it turns out to be a little cute moment, it seems like. Oh, well, comes on in 2 weeks. My bad. You're right. They take a week off and then they come back for the next two episodes and then they take their other longer break. Um, what do y'all think? Lawrence, I'm thinking about breaking down Wonder Years, but I don't know if anybody's watching it. All right, Jen Marie. So I gotta do my videos or release these videos so that you won't be lost anymore. It's a lot to keep track of, but it's a very interesting show. The 4400 is great, y'all, for real. No more group cabin trips. Ever since Chris' grandma died, he been MIA. Facts. JJ said I got money and I'm going to use it. I can't. Hey, HUH. They should have learned the last time to stop going to that damn cabin in the groups. Literally, y'all, we need to get all these cabin jokes off because all of them should be apprehensive to go back to that damn cabin. I just need to know why Ash or Layla want to be around the exes when they trying to have alone time. I can't. It's awkward that Layla and Asher came along the last time wasn't the best night for them. Exactly. I think Jamon's going to be all right until after the All American Homecoming mid-season finale because Michael says Jordan's going to be at Brixton a handful of times. Yeah, they're going to be all right. They might hang on, but that doesn't mean that we ain't going to see them limping there, y'all. Like I don't want them to just stay together. I want them to be good and happy. And I feel like we're about to start to lay these dang on breadcrumbs to this road of them separating. And it's just like, can they just have this big blowout breakup later on, but they have all of these weeks of fun and enjoying each other or something? Like I just cannot watch their relationship unravel. I just don't want to see it. Next episode looks fun, so I'm just hoping not the worst to happen. Oh, not for the worst to happen, yeah. Also, who invites Spencer, of course. Of course, Spencer invited Coop. If they start any problems with Olivia, I'ma lose it. Y'all remember the last time what happened? The friendship group and loyalty disappeared. Well, Vanessa won't be there, so we already ahead. Her shorts and them damn boots won't be there, so we already ahead of the game. But the actual I can't. Have y'all noticed something about episode 6, and it's always at the cabin. What? What did we miss? Come on, spill the tea, Mercedes. What did we miss? HUH, you about the only one that lived to see the gang back at the cabin. It's gonna bring some drama, and I'm here for it. No, when they gonna bring Cam to the cabin? Did Antonio pay you to say that? You can tell me. It's fine. I'm excited for this tea that you about to spill. Mercedes, are we missing at the cabin? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I knew that. That's why I kept saying they about to redo it, how it was supposed to be done. I'm gonna need Erica to leave Vanessa her shorts and her boots alone. Listen, she wouldn't leave me alone. She kept popping on screen with him, so she must wanted me to talk about him. Last season and this season is always some mess at the cabin on the 6th episode. Oh yeah, 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 yep. Now on Antonio's payroll. Exactly. Why we need to bring Cam to the cabin when the cabin is literally the definition of drama for them? Exactly. We do not need walk-in drama to go to drama. Like we got enough. Jeez. We got plenty. Antonio, you are alone in here. There is no camp up in here. Like you're literally by yourself. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm definitely still gonna do a preview video. I don't think y'all gonna get this Olivia sex scene that a lot of people been calling for. They're gonna get close. They're gonna get a little touchy feely. They're gonna give a little Olivia moments. But this is gonna turn out to be one of the last hurrahs for the friend group. They feel like they're all gonna be separating and going different places. We already know where Simone is going, and we can see, she's trying to get Jordan to live in the moment and just stay present. And he feels like he is losing her. And I guess now he has time to refocus on Simone now that he knows that he's going to be going to a school and he's committing to one. I mean, I've already said this. I love Jerome. I'm going to stick beside them. That's through the ups and the downs. I'm not ready for this emotional roller coaster we about to go on, but we about to go on it. So, like the here it go. Okay. Kenny, not you camping now too on top of Team Jordan. I'm gonna need you to pick better winners, sis. There is no Cam. I love it. Y'all are everything. I can't. Y'all are literally everything. What is this? What are the Spencers? We need a name for Spencer's camp. Because if Antonio has materialized camp, then I need a name for Spencer's spies, Spencer's Sparkles. I don't know. Spencer something. Y'all help me come up with a name for us for Spencer Hive, okay? What's our name going to be? But yeah, I think it's going to be a really cool. I think it's actually going to give what the Friendsgiving episode would have given if everybody liked each other before they walked through the door. Does that make sense? I think it's going to be a very light episode for the most part. Yes, we never want to see Vegas again. No, no more Vegas. RK says angry Cam. Exactly. I think it's going to be a very lighthearted episode, which makes me a little bit concerned for episode 7 because that just means they're going to come with the drama because that's going to be kind of like it's not their mid-season finale, but it's going to be the break until February when All American Homecoming premieres and that actually comes back. So we know that episode is going to be just packed full of dramas and have a little bit of a cliffhangers. Hashtag the Spence Defense. I like it. Y'all keep coming with these names. Because we're going to have to come up with something. Not Cam having a whole camp. Spencer got to have something. Yes. Spencer and Olivia should have shut the lights out and locked the doors and act like they weren't even there. Facts. I mean, quiet as is kept, Olivia is probably the one who told everybody that they were going. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm like so giggly right now. Layla probably going to be triggered by Olivia and tell them both off. It's got to be some drama. They at the cabin. I don't think Layla going to be the one to bring it though. I don't think. Episode 7, yeah, I really think episode 7 is going to be the one that's a mess. Go ahead, rep for Lewis. Lewis, if you're rewatching this, Antonio is in the chat repping for you. It's Vegas, baby. Triggering us all, but as long as he's repping for you. Y'all, the bonds and the camaraderie that we have built in my rewatches have been lit. Actually, I think we're gonna pick them back up. Mike, can we pick? Well, are y'all cooking for Thanksgiving? I'm not necessarily cooking a lot, so we could probably do a rewatch on Wednesday. If you're on my email list, and I'll send out an email. I'm gonna check with Naya and see where she's at, because maybe we could pick back up with the rewatches this week. And if you want to join, jump down in the description box, hit the link so that you can be added and know when we're doing those things. Why do I think Layla the one who told everyone it's Olivia being at the cabin? She could. She could definitely do that. Drama gonna come from Coop and Patience. Maybe. Y'all think Patience? I didn't see Patience in the trailer. I don't think. I gotta go back and watch it on slow mo. I just want to see how everyone reacts when they find out Lasher's a thing. Lasher is not a thing. They better not hook up at that cabin. I cannot. I cannot, y'all. All right, well that is it. I gotta go to actually make my official breakdown videos, do my previews, and maybe a prediction for next week. The synopsis said that Spencer planned a romantic weekend at the cabin. He probably told Jordan, and Jordan ran his mouth. Maybe the little girl is not going to kill Coop in episode 7. I cannot. The rewatches definitely do hit different. It's lit. We have a really, really great time. Um, was Patience jumping? Oh, she was. She was jumping in the bouncy house. You're right. Everybody is there. Wait, we're not missing nobody. Okay, so yeah, Coop and Patience gonna have some problems. I could totally see that. All right, y'all. I don't know. Maybe I should go live to talk about the 4400 because I have to watch that at the end. Or I have to watch that after this. And I need to get those videos up. And it's a little bit easier for me to sit and just talk than to just record and edit. But if y'all not already, watch the 4400 Power Book 2 Ghost has come back as of Sunday. I am breaking that down. That video is on my channel. If y'all are fans of drama, specifically black women in drama and relationships, Sisters is a really cool show to check out. I'm breaking that down as well, having really cool conversations around that. Y'all jump into the content on the channel. I'm producing a ton of it, and I would love to keep kikiing with y'all. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. I know it's so very, very late. Y'all are literally the best. I love you very, very much. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button on your way out and turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss any time that I go live or any of my All American videos. I will have my videos posted tomorrow, the official breakdown of the episode, and more. Keep it locked. Again, jump down in the description box for any of the links to my social if you want to follow me and talk to me there, as well as to sign up for my rewatches that we have been alluding to throughout this entire chat. We actually go back and rewatch film and television shows together and really just chop it up in an intimate way. I would love for you to join me. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy early Thanksgiving if you partake and celebrate. Happy holidays. I hope your Monday is off to a phenomenal start. Thank you again so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next amazing All American video. Bye.